Hi team, say it's good to see you. I just want to have a quick go through about NotebookLM. I know you're all very familiar now with NotebookLM and how amazing it is. You're also probably up to date with the fact that NotebookLM now syncs automatically with your Google Classroom. So you can create NotebookLMs inside your Google Classroom specific to the content that you want the students to have. So we're now able to create all of the content, right, and then push it through into Notebook, creating a notebook, and then our students will receive the notebook. Now that's really good because the students themselves can't actually change the material, but they can interact with the AI, etc. within it. So I've just done this one for my microeconomics for IGCSE. I've done a number of NotebookLMs, but I wanted to show you this because I had this this prompt came to me in the weekend. I saw this, someone else did this, and I thought, hey, that's really cool. I will steal that and see if I can edit it for my economics learners. And the idea is that you would give this particular prompt to your students, right? I'll show you how to do that. And then your students will be able to use that prompt to turn the NotebookLM into a learning machine, right? I think that's pretty cool. Now, obviously, we've got all of these tools in here, which are very good, right? Flashcards, quizzes, etc. But this is the prompt here that I wanted to show you, right? So, and apologies for the English, it's not very good. As an expert IGCSE economics examiner and teacher, I would like you to construct a comprehensive learning path structured around the core principles of. Then I've obviously put microeconomics and business economics because that's the content of the notebook, but you put in whatever it is for you, specifically tailored for learners in year 10 and year 11 because it's my IG class. This path will progress logically from fundamental concepts to complex market analysis and evaluation skills crucial for IGCSE success. And the idea is that this then the students can get, you can save it into your notes. And it's there, so then they copy it, they can put it in, or you can create it for them and put it in. So I've created it for them, and here it is, right? So it has done that. It has read all of this information, and whatever you put in there, whether it's YouTube videos, notes, slides, whatever, and it has converted all of that into how to revise IGCSE economics. So here it is, 1.1, scarcity, etc. Here's the information. You can add review questions in there. This is where the information links to some of the thoughts, right? Here is references within the material itself, and there, right? So it goes through, and it goes through the whole course, and it's really very clever and quite in-depth as well, all the time referencing back to the information that it's getting the ideas from, which is quite helpful. So students can, I'm not sure about this, they can jump in and find that specific piece of theory in here, which they may wish to then add to their notes. All right, so I wanted to show you this, but I wanted to go all the way, because it goes all the way through the course. We're going to go all the way down to the end. There's elasticity. All right, going through. All right, so business economics again. So it creates all of these modules for the students. And then right near the end, it has, let's check this out, assessment, right? So this is level 1. What do you need to do level 1, right? What do you need to do level 2? And then in here, it'll give a little bit more information. What does it include? How do I move up? Right, here's an example. And that's all within this learning path is what they call it, which I think is really quite incredible. And what I did was once it created it, I then hit at the bottom here, it hit save to note, and so it creates it into the notes, right? And that's really cool. And I was very pleased to be able to do that. And one of the other things that I tried over the weekend was this. I went back to this podcast idea because I've done a few podcasts, and if you look at the podcast now, let's open it up. Oh no, don't generate another one. That wasn't what I was wanting to do. Okay, so now it's generating a podcast. That was definitely not what I was wanting it to do. Let's see if I can stop it. Okay, I can't. In any case, when you push this little pencil icon here, right, what it does is it brings up options for the different podcasts. So you don't have to have just the generic podcast with the people doing an in-depth dive. That's really good. I'm all for that one. You can have a more close look at just one clear, concise, simple concept and get them just to explain that. And then there's also a topic that is critical overview, so a critique of the concepts. Oh, is it letting me now? Yes, here it is. A critique of the concepts. So you can actually ask it to, in here, right, tell it what of the topics you're wanting it to actually then critique it. So critical thinking, that would be really good. So let's imagine you've got a TOK essay or something and you're wanting to do some critical thinking on that. You can just put it in there. Here's this is the one that I tried, this idea of a debate. So I came into the debate, I put into here, this is microeconomics, so it's about market failure and different government solutions and the effectiveness of them. And I've got the two AI hosts debating with each other. Right? It is possible to apparently change the language. I haven't tried that. I don't know which languages, would work and which ones would be better, which ones might be a bit too formal and informal and all of that. But that's possible within there. And as said, you can make it shorter or longer, but you can actually tell it to focus on some specific aspect of your course. So it did one for me. That was the one there. That was the debate. And it worked through all of the sources discussing market failure, and then the two hosts debate as to which policies they think are really good. And I liked that idea because, again, it's developing that skill, that critical thinking skill of having more than one perspective. Maybe global perspectives, etc., can use that tool as well. So I think that's really fantastic. And then over here with the three dots, you're able then to download that particular podcast as an MP3 and use it in other places. So you could perhaps add it back into here as a source, or you could, as I have done, put it back into the classroom as a revision material just for them to use. Right, so that's what I've seen. Now, obviously, there are a whole range of other things. I haven't tried the video overview much, but it does have a pencil. So if I click on the pencil, I can change the language potentially. I can actually get it to specifically target one particular aspect of the course, and it'll create a short video overview. So if I was to do in here, market failure and possible solutions to market failure. Did I do it? Did it type? It didn't type. Right? That's what I would type in here. Right? It's not going to work, but that's okay. So I would type that into there, then I would hit generate, and it would create the video overview for me. With reports, we will have seen these already. Create your own report, right? Specific structures, briefing docs. But this one, look at this, study guides. Create a study guide with suggested essay questions and glossaries. Blog posts, I'm not entirely sure why you might want that, but then the AI gives you suggestions. The AI says, what about a strategic analysis? What about a policy briefing? What about a conceptual overview of a particular topic? Or an explanatory guide of a particular topic, and you tell it what you want, and then you create those, and then they're just automatically added to your classroom studio here. All right. So anyway, I thought I'd show you that because that was a couple of new things that I had learned just over the weekend, and I thought that would be useful for you to see as well. All right. Please remember, like, comment, subscribe. Those are all really helpful things. Otherwise, hey, kōrera, have a fantastic day.